Hey there, I hope everybody is well. Let's ask the angels, saints, ancestors, and spirit guides into our energy to provide and help us share divine guidance today with messages for our highest and greatest good. So it is, and so it will be. All right, I'm just doing another shuffle here. Okay, so what I'm picking up on is I feel like there's an end to the confusion, okay? Let's see. Seven of Cups, yeah. Trickery, devil energy. Let's see. What is this? I feel like someone is being seen clearly for what they have been doing behind the scenes, okay? Page of Swords. There could be some sort of information coming out about what's been going on in the background. All right, I feel like somebody's operating from a place of shadow and is trying to manipulate situations to work out in their favor. I'm getting that with the devil energy here, this is really talking about, being manipulated themselves, right? And then also trying to manipulate others. I feel like there's a lot of things that have been going on, like trickery even. This could represent some dark energy too. I feel like this also can represent like attachments, like even like a bit of addiction energy. I'm getting with the Page of Swords that there's something that's about to come out, okay? There's information being revealed. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. I feel like there's some sort of truth being revealed. It might have something to do with someone in this energy, which would represent like someone who may own a business, somebody who works really hard for what they have. It could also represent like maybe people have maybe people are watching your growth, no longer being in this energy, maybe with whoever this is. Maybe you have cut ties with somebody and you're doing better as a result of it, is what I'm getting. I feel like this is kind of like what everyone is seeing, watching. Yeah, I feel like maybe someone might be watching you from afar as well. Someone has their eye on you. There's like this trolling and stalking and obsessing. Like this is, I'm getting obsession energy here. So I feel like somebody watches you like a hawk. Okay, I feel like they're trying to come up with a way to get something done that they want to get done. What I'm getting is that I feel like they're plotting and planning how to potentially get back in this energy somehow. Okay, High Priestess energy. Yeah. Okay, so I feel like this is, check to see if this resonates with you. Like check within to see if this message is for you, okay? Because this isn't for everybody. I feel like you intuitively know this, okay? I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I feel like they are trying. It's like the devil has its eyes through this person to try to get to you. All right. I feel like there's some sort of like, again, manipulation playing out here. Yeah, there's some sort of blockage. There's some sort of lack of clarity. I feel like somebody, is having a difficulty making decisions or making decisions with clarity. Okay, so I feel like there's some sort of lack of clarity here. Maybe somebody doesn't understand why they're so obsessed with somebody. And it has something to do with like a dark attachment or some heavy unresolved issues. Okay, I'm getting Emperor energy. I'm getting somebody who's a bit tyrannical, controlling, manipulating. They may feel like they're in charge. Maybe someone thinks that they're in charge of your life. or they want to be in charge of you. There's something really strong energy I'm picking up here. Chariot. I feel like you've overcome your battle with the devil, okay? And I feel like the devil would like very much to have another swing at you, okay? And I feel like they very much could be trying to use this energy to come towards you, all right? So I need you to kind of have your guard up, all right, with the Ace of Swords. I need you to understand that you are very protected, okay? And anyone coming your way will be forced with the Sword of Truth, okay? They will be faced with the Sword of Truth. I feel like they worked with others, or they may try to tell you that they want to work it out, but you don't want to work it out, and that's a blockage for them, okay? You're not looking to work things out with this person, or to come to any kind of resolution with them. You're not interested. Seven of Swords. You understand who and what this person is. And you've learned the lessons of the past, and you're not looking to return back to karmic lessons, okay? I feel like, yeah, I feel like this energy, they're a snake in the grass. This is not someone that you can trust. I feel like they believe their own lies. And then sometimes they forget the lies that they told, and so they create new lies. I feel like this person is not trustworthy. I feel like they're facing their own form of judgment, okay? All right, they may be going through an awakening even. This energy is plotting and planning on how to get into your energy, but they burned such a big bridge with you that there's like no coming back from it, okay? I feel like you're focused on something new, okay? And it's almost like they can smell it. They're like, they can smell a drop of blood in the water, okay? This person is someone who preys on other people, bullies them, lies about them, slanders them, talks shit about them, lies to your face, blames it on you though. That's this energy, okay? This is not someone that you want to rebuild anything with, okay? Oh boy, okay. We got all 4 cards, okay. Is this the order? Okay. All right, so we have the 9 of Pentacles. You're much more, you're so much better off without this energy. You've done nothing but build an empire off of your pain and suffering. I feel like they're still holding onto the past and wishing that they could have taken the trip with you, but instead they chose a third party, and they're realizing that they're stuck with this energy. This third party can represent like toxic friends and family, and they will continue to exchange energy that matches their frequency. So I'm getting like, you know, if they feel like they're not good enough and they're resistant to change, well, that's what they're going to be dealing with in their reality. I feel like this somehow haunts them, or they're being haunted. I feel like they're in their head. They're overanalyzing everything. They're constantly thinking about what they've done and how they've done it and where it's led them. I feel like you're somebody that they think about often, or maybe about the attacks. I feel like maybe the attacks that they sent for you are now returning back to them. I feel like they might have worked with others to do this. I feel like this person, you know, is in very much disgust of themselves. All right, so, and then we have the Magician. You know, you're here to create, okay? You're here to manifest, you're here to alchemize, you're here to teach and share wisdom and knowledge. And the more you help on the path, I feel like, you know, you have more opposition here, all right? You're a powerful force, and when activated, you know, you're a force to be reckoned with. And so I feel like that's playing out here. Like whoever messed in your energy thinking that they could come against a magician, a high priestess, I feel like there's a reckoning playing out here. Oh my goodness. Magician, 2 of Pentacles. Someone realized that they went in the wrong direction. And I feel like they're going to watch you celebrate your best life with someone else. Someone who's going to show up for you the way that they were meant to show up for you. Again, all of this was for you. This whole thing falling apart was for you. This person wasn't willing to do the work. They would rather wander the streets, okay, than see any kind of value with you. And sometimes it's because of that reason. Like, they don't see the value within themselves, so they'll sabotage. And I feel like that played out here. But I feel like you're not going down with this ship, okay? So I feel like, you know, Spirit brought you a safety raft and you jumped and landed on that safety raft, okay? Whereas, you know, they decided to sink their own ship, okay? So through this whole process, you've experienced a lot of growth and development and stability and security, and also became very aware of your own worth and value. And you're no longer settling for less than. You may have thought that this energy had potential, and maybe you were somebody who appreciated others' potential or sees the good in others, but I feel like their mask fell off and you saw who they truly were, and you had to save yourself. All right, I feel like there was you had to save yourself from going down with the ship. 6 of Cups. Yeah. All right, I feel like this is, you know, someone who is actually going to, you know, be someone who could be a father figure, maybe to your children if you have children. This is someone who is going to co-parent, be a life partner, somebody who may be very established themselves as an emperor. This is a true divine masculine coming in, okay? Okay, the emperor sees and recognizes the high priestess, okay? Or the empress recognizes the high priest. Flip it, switch it, doesn't really matter, okay? I feel like there's a new sheriff in town. All right, I feel like someone's going to lead where someone wasn't able to lead. I feel like whatever changes are coming, they're necessary. I feel like the Chariot and the Ten of Swords, it's like bringing in change, okay? And it's like almost like by force, okay? It's almost like a nail to a coffin. All right, so there could be some sort of movement here that is leading towards a massive ending, okay? And then I have a 7 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like there's obstacles in the way. There's blockages in the way. There's a lot of things that this person has accrued as it relates to the action taken against you. So they're having to deal with their own accumulated karma. They may think that you're working with others and sending this. You don't need to take any action against anybody, okay? So if you feel like there's this projection that like they're retaliating against something you're sending to them, you know, energetically, I would say that's not the case. I would say what they're experiencing is as a result of their own actions, plans, plots to create some sort of demise, okay? Blockage from someone being in their purpose. I feel like all they've really done is block themselves, okay? So they may think that you're attacking them. You're not. Knight of Wands. 7 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like somebody wants to kind of rush back in, right? And tell you what you want to hear, okay? Which is not something you're even willing to listen to. I feel like they understand that the investments they made are not panning out. They're realizing it wasn't greener on the other side. And they're seeing that like the investments they made really, they're comparing. There's some sort of competition. I feel like they're competing in a game that you're not even playing in. You could give 2 shits, okay? I feel like they're trying to measure up, okay? So I feel like this is very ego related, okay? They may want to come in because they're in a position of lack and offer you something, okay? Maybe a fresh start, or they want to be kind of like jokingly communicate, or I don't know what this pentacle is, but I feel like they want to kind of like test the waters to see if you'd take them back, to see how you'd react, because it's not working out where they're at. In fact, they're trying to find a way to invest elsewhere, and they may want to offer a small investment, but you know, you don't need their investment. Okay, I don't feel like there's anything that really can grow from this. I'm getting, you know, with the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords, like this energy took many steps, okay, many actions to get in the position that they're in, okay, and I feel like, you know, they did this, you know, with others, okay, and I feel like maybe they thought this third party was the end-all be-all, but I feel like they fell for a bill of goods. Isn't there some sort of saying? Fake bill of goods or false bill of goods, or I feel like somebody feels trapped in their situation, and it's in a family dynamic, and it very much might be surrounded by a bunch of people. Maybe too many people are in this relationship. Maybe they entertain many in their, maybe it's like an open relationship. I don't know what that is. But maybe they see you as their happiness and their way out of a difficult situation. Okay, maybe this is what's keeping them up at night, is like, how can I get out of the situation I'm in and go where I did actually have happiness? How do I go back to the family that I left for this karmic energy? There's a bit of that. Like, I feel like this energy is doing a lot of thinking, plotting, planning, assessing. Okay. All right, we have the 3 of Wands. Okay. 4 of Swords. I feel like the direction they took only showed them exactly who they are. I feel like they attracted somebody who's just like them. And I feel like there's a truth here that maybe they're not quite seeing, or there's some sort of truth being hidden or covered up, or it's a secret. I feel like there's a secret affair going on. I feel like the truth might be revealed. Clarity might be coming to light. Yeah, World card. I feel like things are coming full circle. So if they put you in a third party, then very much could there be, you know, them being put into a third party. I'm not sure. Like the heartache and the betrayal and all of that, like, you know, that's a what goes around comes around situation. And there's a lesson here to learn. There's something, you know, sometimes suffering, there's a lot to learn from suffering. Okay, I feel like whatever direction they took led to breaking their own heart. Okay, I feel like they might have been, you know, like daydreaming, or maybe there's daydreaming going on, or there's some sort of imagination going on that you would, after what has been done, that you would take them back. I feel like maybe somebody thinks that, like, you know, you would even consider this. I feel like it's not even in your, you know, your imagination. Hanged Man. I feel like you completed this cycle, and I feel like this energy still has a lot of lessons to still learn. And I'm getting like the Hanged Man is like, yeah, this is about gaining a new perspective about like what truly transpired with this dynamic, and you know, their actions and all of it, right? Okay. I have 5 of Swords and the Hierophant. Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of slandering about your belief systems, and maybe they don't have any, and as a result, their wandering soul, kind of lost soul here, you know, not able to really accept resources because they don't appreciate resources, they don't appreciate help, or they don't even know how to help themselves. I feel like there's some sort of loss, rejection, there's some sort of like obstacle, challenge, one after another. I feel like they're going to be learning a very strong spiritual lesson here. Okay. King of Swords. Okay. So this very much could be somebody who might be coming towards you with some sort of truth, integrity, honesty about what maybe truly happened in the past. They may regret a decision that they made to jump on the bandwagon of whoever this person is. I feel like they believed a story that was false. So I feel like, again, back to the beginning of the reading, it's like a clarity. Knight of Pentacles. I feel like there's a lot for you to focus on, and you are devoted and committed to mastering something. I feel like, you know, you've been left kind of to fend for yourself too. There might be a lot of things that you are working on that it takes a while. Like, it's not a quick fix. Okay, I have the Moon. And then I have the Four of Cups. Yeah, I mean, maybe someone is receiving some sort of intuitive hits that they may need to leave where they're at. It's no longer in alignment with them. Any investments that they've made have been rotten. Okay, I feel like there was an illusion that this energy fell for, thinking that, you know, this third party was going to be the end all be all, but what it actually was a plot to get them off their spiritual path. Okay, and they fell for it. There's some sort of like plot and plan to break up a family. And I'm getting, you know, there's this energy of someone wanting to hand somebody love, but not being able to receive it. So what I'm getting is like, this is like unrequited love. And so I feel like there was a lot of things that were done to orchestrate this to happen, okay, for numerous reasons. And I feel like somebody knows the truth of everything. They may feel strongly that they have to communicate this in some way. There could be an incoming message or someone wanting to arrive after maybe an experience of a loss. They may be pushed a bit, like inspired, encouraged, maybe from someone who has a high position, or maybe it's someone who is a spirit guide that might be advising this person to leave the situation that they're in, because it's like it's a bad investment at this point. Like, there's nothing but loss here. I feel like with the Four of Cups, this energy, you know, is refusing to seek help, refusing to see why they choose to go into relationships that are not serving them, that are not healthy for them. Maybe they've never really understood love and had a healthy relationship to know, you know, what is what. I feel like this person's very much in their feelings. Okay. Five of Cups. Yeah, somebody feels like, you know, everything that they've tried has just not worked for them. And again, like, it's not, there very much could be like blaming everybody else instead of going within to see why, like, outside of you and your surroundings is a hot mess. Like, maybe we have to look at what's the root cause here. What is the root cause? Why haven't these relationships worked out? What patterns are they repeating? Especially when it comes to your childhood. Like, there's a need to kind of like do a bit of reflection here. You're continuing to repeat patterns, maybe even generational ones that continue to afflict others because they go unhealed. There's a need for change. Someone's being forced to reflect. The Lovers. Yeah, I feel like they had a free will choice and they took the direction that they wanted to take. And now they're upset about what they're experiencing. Okay, so it's like you made these decisions and now you're accountable for these decisions. Okay. The Sun. Yeah, it's like God sent you someone to teach you how to love, and then you refused their love. So you chose to go on a path to learn what love isn't. And everything's falling apart as a result of this. All right, this relationship, this dynamic, it's surrounding their friendships, relationships, they're all coming to a halt. There's some massive ending here. And it's not pretty. Knight of Swords. I feel like somebody is experiencing maybe a bit of bullying as well, maybe with a Queen of Wands. I feel like this Knight of Swords and Queen of Wands are at odds with one another right now. They're fighting. There's a massive ending happening when it comes to like their commitment with one another. I feel like the person that they're with is going to be the one that stabs him in the back with the last sword. Okay, we have the Ten of Swords here. Then we have the Hierophant, and then we have the Knight of Swords. We have a Tower over here, and we have the Queen of Wands. Fire sign energy, justice, fairness. There could be legal issues playing out here for this couple, or this breakup, this fallout, this downfall is going to generate a need to be made fair or just. So it could strum up like time in court. Okay, what's this? Five of Wands and the Queen of Cups. Yeah. All right, so I feel like somebody is like behind the scenes kind of orchestrating all of this, like she's the puppet master. All right, I feel like somebody, you know, is creating a lot of drama. Okay, someone who's like on the outside watching this all go down and just kind of like okay. I feel like there's a lot of competition here. I feel like somebody may have triangulated somebody here. I see two feminines and a masculine. But it doesn't have to be. I have someone who's, you know, in their purpose, okay? Overcoming lots of challenges, okay? Maybe even feeling like things, you know, are very unexpected and how things are playing out. So maybe there's a need to kind of like, depending on how bad you want it, like, are you willing to fight for it? I feel like there's a bit of that, like fighting for something that you want. Looking at this Queen of Cups and King of Wands here, I'm also getting like there's a feminine and a masculine over here. There also is a feminine and masculine over here. So this could represent two couples. And then I have the Lovers. I feel like somebody's understanding that I feel like either someone's cheating on somebody is what I'm getting. And this is what's being highlighted, okay? And so I feel like there's a bit of like game playing going on between these two that are in this relationship that's falling apart. Which, yeah, I feel like there's some sort of game playing going on when it comes to like this couple and what's going on here. I feel like there's a massive ending playing out here. Okay, I feel like it has something to do with them trying to prevent you from creating the life that you desire. I feel like somebody might very much be wanting to share some sort of message with you of some kind, or some sort of like, hey, I really like what you create. You might be a creator. You might be someone who like receives intuitive messages and creates something with it. So I feel like there might be a bit of connection here. You might be connecting the dots. Okay. Yeah, Judgment. Someone is going through their own awakening. They may, or maybe you've helped somebody through their awakening at one point. You could be someone who provides support of others through difficult times. Let's see what this says. So I feel like the karmic feminine has someone on the outside, and I'm getting like the karmic masculine has someone on the outside of their dynamic. Okay, 8 of Swords. Did a whole flip. Yeah, I feel like this person likes to get in between people who are in a relationship already. I feel like they tend to like to break up families. I feel like there's a pattern here, and it's as a result of them not having self-worth and value. Them not realizing like they're enough. They don't need to steal, you know, people from other people for the sake of their own ego. Like at some point, you know, this affects families, right? This affects children, this affects others. I feel like there's a need to you know, be accountable. I feel like somebody likes to create confusion. Someone likes to slander people, or someone likes to report people, maybe create some sort of blockage for people. I feel like this energy feels blocked, so they want other people to feel blocked. Okay, so any action that they take, any spells that they do, any things that they say with intention with the words, you know, they're going to experience massive endings as it relates to anyone that might be of the light. Okay, I feel like they're playing with fire. All right, they're playing with fire. If they continue to create endings and beginnings and all the fuckery they're trying to create here. King of Pentacles. Yeah, they don't want you to have a new beginning. They want there to be confusion, okay? Lack of clarity, lack of intuition, okay? The inability to have a fresh start. There's someone in the background here who's trapped in their own situation, doesn't know how to get out of it, and so they're attacking you, thinking that you're doing this to them, and you're not. Okay, you don't need to. Okay, you know, they created their own demise. You're just letting them experience what they chose for themselves. Yeah, you're moving on, right? You're not looking back. You're not bothered. You know, you awaken to what you awakened to, and, you know, this is no longer a thing for you. You've separated yourself. You did what you were asked to do, was to move on. King of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, someone definitely tried to maybe climb the social ladder, okay? I feel like they're the one that's going to be watching from the sidelines. I'm getting that there's somebody here coming in because they see who this Empress or Emperor really is. And I feel like they're stable, secure. It's a new person, and they have a lot of emotion for you. They could be very emotionally mature. I feel like they understand that there's something that you're here to create, and I feel like they're going to be very supportive. Whereas I feel like the past person competed with you, okay, instead of supporting you. I feel like the support you asked for is coming, okay? And this person's going to have a lot of love for you. They're not going to put you in competition with other people, okay? Like this past person. Only insecure people do that. All right, this person's not insecure. I feel like you will be moving on towards peace and harmony. Not looking back. Yeah, you deserve a love of a lifetime, and it's coming. Okay, I feel like a bit of this Page of Cups will end up to the Two of Cups. So I feel like the potential's huge here. I feel like they see the potential in you as well. I just heard like they speak my language. So there very much could be like same type of mindset, same type of principles, Okay, you might telepathically speak to one another. I feel like there's strong communication here. I feel like they lead with integrity. I feel like they're a truth seeker too. They may even be a divine channel or provide guidance or messages as well. I feel like they want to experience life with somebody who, again, speaks their language, okay? Nine of Cups is your wishes and dreams coming true. That is beautiful. I feel like it's on its way, and it's on its way fast. Fast incoming communication or movement. There might be a lot of things that need to kind of be in alignment. And I feel like timing-wise, I would say within the next 2 months, 3 months. Ace of Cups. This is divine love here. Being in a high, loving vibration, helping others as you come across them in whatever way that is. It's like the energy you put out, you're receiving back, and your vibration is love. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot coming in your direction. Yep, Ace of Pentacles. I feel like this King of Pentacles is going to make an offer, an official offer. Okay, they see that you're helping others. They're observing what you do and how you do it. So they realize that you are committed to what you're creating here and that you have some sort of mastery that is very valuable. All right, I feel like they see your value and they're not envious and jealous of it. I feel like that's important to note. Okay, Knight of Cups. I feel like, you know, they could have a bit of like a, who's this Knight of Cups? They might like a motorcycle and they might be near the mountains. Okay. I'm getting that they could have been like a playboy back in the day, right? They could have had, I feel like they could have, you know, explored their own emotions over the years and have come to a mature position, right? I feel like this person is going to have also some love for you. So we'll see what this is. Knight of Cups. The Star. Oh, so I feel like this is like an admirer. I feel like they admire you from afar right now. Yeah, I feel like the Knight of Cups is like watching the energy of the Eight of Pentacles, which is like hardworking and committed and devoted and consistent. And, you know, maybe, you know, there's respect regarding that. I feel like there's also this like energy, healing energy, a healer, a practitioner, someone who's of the light, someone who may have a lot of abilities here. Let's see what else we get. Queen of Swords. Yeah, you might have a platform. You might be someone who is writing. You might be a writer. You might be somebody who is just like straight up, right? You could be that friend that people come to and you're like, I'm going to tell it to you straight. I feel like this is really important. You know, masculine or feminine, doesn't really matter. I feel like you see things from a higher perspective. Like your mindset is super important here. It's almost like a guiding light, like you're a guiding light. Okay. All right. And then we have Three of Swords. Yeah. I feel like you're helping people through their pain and suffering and heartbreak to the other side. So this could be, you know, you being someone who's of service, helping those, you know, create a new life for themselves after suffering. I feel like, you know, there's this energy of not having to carry it everywhere you go, and we can put it down. I feel like you might be helping people to put down the burdens of the past and heartbreak so that they can have some freedom and sovereignty in their life. Yeah, and go on that soul search, go on that spiritual journey and pilgrimage. I feel like this is like returning to a place of love. All right, so the messages you give help people on their path. If you are a messenger, I'm getting like whatever energy you hold it's a strong energy. I feel like you're very supported, okay, in what you do or how you're doing it. This could be you on the journey now. This could be you being guided to leave something that is extremely burdensome and painful. And it seems like things just continue to happen over and over again. This is, again, like leaving that behind and moving towards, something better. I feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel. All right, again, like you are the light. Okay, you saw victory and success. Okay, we have, I feel like, I have strength and justice in the side positions. Let me just ask, you want these in upright? Okay, upright. I feel like, you have strong protection in the physical realm as well as the spiritual realm. And I feel like you represent like you represent divine justice in the physical form. So sometimes when people deal with you, they don't realize that, you come with, universal laws depending on how they treat you and work with you. I feel like you could be walking karma on earth here. I know that's quite of a strong statement, but yeah, I feel like you have the confidence, you have the courage, you have the strength, forgiveness, and compassion. But, there are laws above man, and that's part of what you're here to do. You're here to kind of like ground this here. You very much could be someone who speaks on it, teaches it, is an example of it. You're stronger than people give you credit for. I feel like after they deal with you, then they're like, wow. I feel like you might leave a mark. I feel like victory is yours in this situation. Not that you're trying to win or lose or anything like that, but I feel like, you and your spiritual team are celebrating your success, rightfully so. I feel like you are this temperance angel. You're someone who's here to bring balance and harmony and peace and help people find this for themselves. I feel like you're this loving, caring, kind energy, and you do inspire and guide people on their path and journey. And so that is what you're dedicated on doing. This is your purpose. And I feel like continue to do what you came here to do, regardless of what anyone else wants for you. This is about you, your path, and what is specific to you. And, sometimes that's a lonely experience. But I feel like you're attracting in your reality what is next for you. So continue to release what needs to be released of the past cycle. Let people learn their lessons on their own. You don't need to be involved, and continue to protect your peace. Okay? I love you guys. I hope you have the most amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one.